Between Sea of Thieves, Raft, Dave the Diver, and to a much lesser extent Skull and Bones, it would seem gaming has entered an age of water, if you will. And if you won't, tough tits, because on April 25th, action-adventure MMO Age of Water will release into early access in a fun, if often frustrating state. Now, it's always strange playtesting an MMO before it actually becomes an MMO by, adding the M's. So I want to caveat this review with the fact that my thoughts on AOW are very much subject to change when these servers fully open. After all, in my entire time with the game, I encountered one other pirate, and in a PvE only zone at that, which meant our non-violent interaction looked something like this. Oh my god, another player. Arr, matey. Be ye wanting to join me party and plunder the endless sea? Arr, alone again. It also meant my experience in the timed PvP events that randomly spawn around the map were uncontested and ultimately pointless. Still, I think I have nonetheless seen a majority of what Age of Water's single-player elements have to offer. So here are my top 5 takeaways for folks to consider before taking the plunge. First, the core mechanic here, improving your ship, is pretty fun. There are tons of things you can graft to the deck, from machine guns and grenade launchers, to smokestacks and batteries, to fishing poles and dredging winches. Each gives you some form of advantage and disadvantage on the high seas, meaning you'll spend much of your downtime min-maxing the perfect deck layout, then balancing your energy budget, researching upgrades, allocating crew level points, and crafting makeshift shields to stick to the ship's sides. While the UI for everything needs some serious polishing, I still very much enjoyed this half of the game. Alas, the other half is pure chaos, because within seconds of leaving port, an annoying army of mutant sharkies will surface and begin ripping your hull to shreds. These monomaniacal reverse stormtroopers will never miss and will pursue you to the end of the world, and killing them only buys a minute or so of respite before the next sharky raid surfaces. In this sense, it's impossible to escape, even in a jet stream, even with an expanded boost battery, in part because said boost only recharges when you're sitting completely still. So it's only a matter of time before your ship starts to sprout leaks, takes on too much water, and joins Davy Jones. Death in AOW respawns you at your last port or campaign checkpoint, but removes a huge chunk of inventory, thereby making it impossible to repair your ship with the requisite materials until you either collect more or gather your shipwrecked remains. Said remains won't disappear no matter how many times you die, which is good because I once died outside an enemy stronghold about 1,000 times while I was repeatedly killed during the process of recollecting my lost cargo. Seriously, this mission can burn in hell. The subject of missions leads me to Age of Water's story. If you haven't already guessed, AOW is set in a distant and totally hypothetical future where melting polar ice caps have flooded society and forced folks to congregate on skyscrapers and submarines. The game features a fully voice-acted, albeit horrifically lip-synced plot full of quirky characters and questionable dialogue, some of which revolves around the existential middle school question of whether or not you're a cool guy.
I saw you talking to the mayor. Don't trust him. He's a coward and a bore. Cool guys should avoid people like him.
When you're not worrying about social status, you'll probably be helping this Ernest Hemingway knockoff find land, if any exists, by triangulating your geographic location. All in all, the story is nothing special. Luckily, the world is. Despite playing on an almost empty server, I still felt like Age of Water's world was alive and interesting. There are a number of points of interest, various factions, strange NPCs, and the occasional whale. All in all, I think the game looks pretty nice and it supports some solid sound design. I only wish there was more room to breathe and explore uninhibited. Last and least, this is a gaijin game, of War Thunder infamy. Thus, a degree of pay-to-win skepticism is reasonable here. During my review, the only thing that smelled fishy outside of all the fish was a shop full of powerful buffs that are unlocked through a currency earned in-game. I didn't see a means to purchase said currency with USD, and it sounds like Age of Water will not be free to play. Still, until a price and/or monetization strategy becomes clear, proceed with caution. In the end, Age of Water is a fun, if often frustrating experience that has the potential to become something special by full release. Until then, I'm giving the game an aggregate megascore of 3.08 out of 5. Until next time, this is Scope, and thanks for watching.